Just a quick reminder, guys, these narrations are best enjoyed with headphones on.
Hey Nine, oh hey James, what's up? You have a letter from an unknown source. Now obviously the seal of the letter bears this insignia. Okay, give me the letter and we'll see what the sender wants. Brother Nine, it was good to see you earlier on this week. I hope you enjoyed the Samsung tablet you purchased. However, this letter is to ask a favor. Due to the recent collapse of the Shadowverse, our two adversaries, the GDI and the Allies, have formed an alliance against us. We are now facing a war on two fronts. We are losing ground and bases by the day. Our situation is desperate. The only way for the Brotherhood to survive is to form an alliance with the Empire of the Rising Sun. Your mission is to create and upload a review of Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 to solidify this alliance. Go forth and accomplish this mission for the Brotherhood. Peace through power. One vision, one purpose. Yours sincerely, Brother Daniel. Okay, this sounds serious. One review of Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 coming right up, Brother Daniel. Ladies and gentlemen, start your emulators. It is time for another episode of RetrOS, the show that gives you your recommended dose of nostalgia, but reviewing games from your childhood. In this episode, we're remaining in the Xbox 360 generation, but reviewing the third entry in the Command & Conquer Red Alert series. Can this game achieve what Halo Wars failed? Well, without further ado, let's go to war, and let's find out. The Red Alert series is one of the most recognizable franchises in the RTF subgenre. Its impact on gaming as a whole is still relevant even to this day. The series started in the same way as Unreal Tournament, nothing more than a free expansion. During the development of the original unit pack for the original Command & Conquer, dubbed Tiberian Dawn, the decision was made by the developers to completely change the game into a standalone product. This title was originally released for the PC in 1996, with a console port released to the Sony PlayStation in 1997. The second entry of the series, Red Alert 2, was released exclusively for the PC in the year 2000, with massive acclaim from critics and the community. Even today, Red Alert 2 still is one of the most recognizable classics in the PC gaming in general in the 2000s. By the way guys, just a quick interruption. Did you know that Red Alert 2 was yet another game was affected by the 9/11 attacks? The game's original box art featured a picture of an airplane flying into a skyscraper. Yeah guys, I think you could see where the issue is. Anyway, in response to the attacks themselves, the box art of the game had to be completely changed. The developers, all remaining copies were culled and changed to the new version of the title with the amended box arts. Ironically enough, the Twin Towers themselves were still present in the game during the 6th mission of the Soviet campaign. Your base was built right in front of the World Trade Center. The game had an official mission pack, Hero's Revenge, which was released 1 year later in October 2001. If you want, you can play these two classic titles, including the official expansion packs on Steam, thanks to the Ultimate Collection. Fast forward to 2008 with the third entry of the series, Command & Conquer Red Alert 3, released to the public in 2008. The game takes place shortly before the end of Red Alert 2. The Soviet Union was on the verge of defeat at the hands of the Allied nations, so they had to switch to Plan B, use a time travel device located under the Kremlin to travel back to the year 1927. The mission to eliminate Albert Einstein, the person responsible for the Allies' technological superiority over the Soviets, therefore responsible for the downfall of the Soviet Union. The mission succeeds, however, the move itself had several unforeseen consequences. Because Albert Einstein was eliminated so early, key scientific discoveries did not happen. This slight oversight gave birth to a third faction, the Empire of the Rising Sun, which attacked the Allies and the Soviets, which locked all three superpowers in a fictional World War III. It is up to you to take command any of the three factions and embark here on your conquest for world domination. Initiating battlefield control, stand by. The accessibility scores are as follows. To kick things off, visibility gave it 10. There are no colorblind modes available in this game. However, the game's color scheme is colorblind friendly as it is. Blue for the Allies, red for the Soviets, and orange for the Empire of the Rising Sun. For a colorblind player, this contrast is quite accessible. However, a fully fledged colorblind mode would make this game easier to play for a player with a visual impairment. In multiplayer skirmish games, the color that each and every player represents can be fully customized in the setup screen, so a player with a visual impairment will be able to play this game relatively easily. Next up on the battle plan, audibility, I gave it 10. The dialogue in cutscenes and during missions is fully subtitled, so a player with a hearing impairment will be able to cope with the game's campaign mode very easily. Also, if your forces or the forces of an ally come under attack, notifications should flare up on the game's minimap, which also indicates on location on the battlefield where the attack is taking place. Next up, mobility, I give it 10.5. In the PC version, the game is primarily controlled by the mouse. If you played an RTS game before on PC, this interface should be all too familiar to you. Serious players out there, you could use hotkey shortcuts. Again, these shortcuts can be fully customized to suit your impairments. For the console version, the developers have decided to replicate the exact same interface that they have created in the game's expansion pack to Tiberium Wars, Kane's Wrath. Unless certainly by no means least, gameplay given 9. In short, this game is an excellent RTS game. Similar to the two game's predecessors, there are 3 factions to command. In this case, the Allies, the Soviets, and the Empire of the Rising Sun. These 3 factions play completely different from each other. The Allies build structures similar to every previous Command & Conquer game. When construction of the structure is complete, it can be immediately placed on the battlefield. However, the expansion is a little more complex. In order to expand an allied player's build radius, he or she can use a prospector to deploy into a command hub. However, each and every command hub has to be upgraded individually to unlock new construction options. So where and when to request better tech is a vital part when commanding the Allies. The Soviets take a more simplistic and unique approach. Soviet structures can be immediately placed on the battlefield. However, the construction of the building takes place on the battlefield itself. During its construction, the structure is completely vulnerable to attack by an enemy. However, no tech upgrades are required to unlock new construction options. A Soviet player can also deploy a crusher crane to unlock an additional build cube. Crusher cranes is the only structure in the Soviet arsenal which can repair aircraft and vehicles. There are 2 ways to expand a Soviet player's build radius. You can base creep similar to a Zerg player does in StarCraft, or you can either build a Sputnik from either your war factory or naval yard and then deploy it to expand to practically much anywhere in the battlefield. The Empire of the Rising Sun takes a completely unique approach. The constructions of buildings is reliant on small units called nanocores. These nanocores can be deployed in the same way of a construction yard, prospector, or Sputnik. This allows the player to expand quickly and easily as there's no build radiuses to hold you back. Each production structure has to be upgraded individually to unlock new construction options. What makes this century truly unique is the fact that structures can be completely built on water. This applies to any of the 3 factions. In terms of the multiplayer side of the game, the servers of the Xbox version of the game was shut down in 2022. However, the PC version of the game is a completely different ballpark. Bandmate servers hosted by Mavora, it still is keeping multiplayer of the PC version active. In summary, Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 is one of the best RTS experiences on console, second only to Halo Wars series. It still has the charm and appeal of the series, mixed in with new mechanics to make this game feel fresh. The game's campaign is heavily reliant on co-op. When playing through any of the 3 games' campaign on single player, you are paired with an AI teammate or co-commander. You can give this AI teammate instructions such as taking control of a certain area of the battlefield, eliminating a certain unit or structure, or simply allowing to keep on doing whatever the AI commander was doing. Better still, if you own an Xbox One or Xbox Series and X consoles, The game can still be played on your consoles thanks to backwards compatibility. If you are an RTS enthusiast and is looking for an old school RTX experience to play, this game is highly recommended. And the overall score is a highly respectable 98.75%. Okay, this is 9 all the way from Sonic Prime signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next review.